How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? How I came to be a Jedi? I am sure you would not find it very interesting. Are you sure you would like to hear? Well, it goes back a number of years. Back on my homeworld, we did not see Jedi very often, especially where I lived. The hind end of space, a pit of a world, to be sure, where Jedi rarely tread. But we had heard of them. Well, everyone had, so that is not to be unexpected. Champions of truth, defenders of justice, heroes of the Republic. It was very easy for a child to be enthralled by their image, their mystique. Maybe I was one of those children. When I saw a Jedi for the first time, they lived up to everything my imagination had created them to be. I was awed, and maybe a little enamored. They were quite striking, especially the tales of their leader. From that moment on, I knew that I would have to try to become a Jedi, to lift myself out of the rut I had been living in for years, and to make a real difference, as the Jedi wore. The foolish delusions of a child, but this child made it happen. As soon as I was able, I left my world and went in search of them. I found them and was accepted. I had been living my dream on Dantooine for several years before you came, although perhaps I was not entirely ready for it, or not completely suited to the task. Otherwise, I would not have fallen. But thanks to you, I have been redeemed. Perhaps I may yet live to see that dream of mine come true. Come, there is much we should do. Let us not waste time talking. Action is what is needed.
Yeah, what do you want? You want another war story, huh? You want to hear about some other world getting wasted, eh? I knew you were the type. Your stagnant republic has never seen some of the strange creatures and races we fought on the Outer Rim in those years. And you never will now. If a world isn't strong enough to defend itself, it's basically forfeit. But this story is about something a little different. We were going through the asteroid fields of the Crispin system at the very edge of the galaxy, playing with the pirates and smugglers we found there. The main belt in the Crispin system consists of mainly small rocks covered in frozen methane gas shells, and the pirates were using them for cover. Ha! I remember using a thermal generator to cause the outer layer of one of the asteroids to vaporize in a picosecond. It blew out and shredded the 3 smugglers using it for cover. But that was a mistake. The asteroid I had targeted was smaller than most, maybe a dozen meters on the side. On the outside, it looked the same as any other, just a ball covered in frozen gas. But something must have been inside it, something inactive in the cold. The heat of my blast might have triggered something or woken something up. After I'd hit it, spots of light and heat appeared all over the thin shell, still covering it, evaporating the gases. What lay underneath looked like some sort of rocky growth. A deformed rock, pitted by scores of micrometeorite scars. I think something even older might have been inside that. Maybe, but maybe not. It started rotating faster and faster as we watched it. After a second, it started spraying fire, thermal projectiles that melted our armor like wax. We were caught completely by surprise. Before we could counterattack, it fled at an incredible speed. We couldn't catch it, but we could follow its hyperspace wake. We followed its trail as far as we could, heading away from the galactic core. When it finally led beyond the edge of our galaxy, we abandoned our efforts. Anything that wants to commit suicide in that great void is not worth our trouble trying to catch. That's the only story I have for now. I'll tell you some more stuff later if we get the chance. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Yes, what's on your mind? I'm not very good at this. I know I owe you an apology. More than one, probably. I was just so desperate to finally face Saul directly in the battle over Terrace. And now the Jedi have us looking for these star maps. I know this mission is important, it's just, I feel a bit useless. I mean, I can fight, sure, but I'm no Jedi. All this feels completely out of my league. You don't exactly pull any punches, do you? Not that I don't deserve it, I suppose. I just hate not knowing what's going on and feeling this helpless. But I shouldn't have taken that out on you. I've been a royal pain in the backside, haven't I? No, I do worry about it. I've traveled the lanes more than once. I should know better than this. So, I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology? Done. Let's get underway then, shall we, partner?
How can I help? Am I so transparent? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, considering our bond. Yes, there is something I would like to ask, if you'll permit it. In our time together, I've been watching you. You are a true servant of the light. You follow the tenets of the Jedi Order despite the lure of the dark side. And with so little training, for me it has always been a constant battle. Don't you find it difficult at all? You make it seem so easy. Or is that only an illusion? And that's enough for you. If only it were as easy for me. If only the right path was always clear. I've always struggled for control over my passions. I've always been too quick to anger, too quick to get involved. My instructors constantly berated me for it. I've often dreamed that I might be able to confront Darth Malak myself. I dream I can use all this power I have to kill him and stop all the death and destruction. I just think about all the evil that the Sith have caused and I get so furious. Yet we are told that these feelings are the path to the dark side. I don't know. Would the power I use to kill Darth Malak be too tempting to keep using? Would I become the kind of evil I want to destroy? The very thought that I could become as evil as Malak, I just can't fathom it. It just doesn't seem possible. I mean, how could I... No. Wait, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even be asking you this. The Jedi teachings are clear. Who am I to question them? And even worse, who am I to try and make you question them? These are dangerous thoughts. The indulgence of a vain mind. Please, forget I ever mentioned this. Let's just return to our mission.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? I do not know how to help you with that. I am sorry. How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? I am wary of the Mandalorian. I do not trust him. I have never trusted Mandalorians. They drove my parents from Cathar, aided the Sith, and attacked the Republic. Their warped notions of honor may provoke them to do even more heinous acts. I do not know why you tolerate his presence on your ship. In truth, he has had some merit so far, but I am not certain it is worth the risk you take. His kind may prove to be a danger to the galaxy again, but this man himself has proven acceptable so far. Merely keep your distance from him and watch him so that he does not betray us. Spoken to him? No, I could not. Mandalorians are vicious of temper and easily provoked. I would not want to tempt his wrath. I am not a coward. I fear no one and nothing. But you have not had to flee the destruction of your homeworld either. Human, the Mandalorians came and overran my world. They slaughtered my race. I cannot forget what they have done, or forgive. You are right, of course. You always seem to know what you speak of. This simmering anger and hatred for the Mandalores seems to have found a place in my heart, though. Sometimes I worry. But still, it eats away at me. I worry that I may yet again fall and endanger everything I hold dear, if that time does come. And if I do, threaten our task, it is only right that you should strike me down. If I fall and endanger you and the galaxy, you must do what is right. If my death will defeat Malak, then that is what must be done. But we are becoming too morbid, too soon. We should not talk like this now. There is much yet we can do, but we shall talk later, I am sure.
Got something on your mind, dude? I have no idea what you're talking about, Rambo. What do you say? Got something on your mind, dude? Oh, I get it. Let's play with the old man's head, is it? He's half senile. He'll forget I said anything. Wait, what was this about anyway?
Calo Nord is dead, Lord Malak. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Calo's, not yours. You may rise.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malak?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend. Find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
You're back! I knew you'd come through for me. I knew I could count on you. You do have a tech land for me, right? Come to Papa, you sweet simian organ. It may not look like much, but once I turn this into a bottle of Torresian ale, it'll end up being worth a fortune. Thanks, Mission. You won't regret helping me out with this.
Please, Griff, let this be the last time. No more cons, no more scams, no more schemes. That's all I ask.
Hey, sis, no need to worry about that. I've turned over a new leaf. From now on, I'm gonna stay out of trouble and do things right. And once we've cornered the market on Torresian ale, good things will be heading my way. Then I'll make it up to you, Mission. Just wait, you'll see. You know, once we synthesize this and start brewing Torresian ale in mass quantities, we're gonna be looking for some investors. You give me a couple of 100 credits, and I can get you in on the ground floor. You'll get a return of, oh, at least 20 times your investment. Hey, don't worry, you'll get your credits as soon as we start mass producing that Torresian ale. I just wanted to know if you were interested in an even bigger payoff. You don't know much about business, do you? When an opportunity like this comes along, you have to jump at it. Come on, what do you say? Whoa, no need to get violent, I can take a hint. I was just trying to do you a favor, but I see you're not interested. It's your loss. I better get started brewing that ale. Meet me back here later and I'll give you a down payment on what I owe you.
Hey there, what can I do for you? I appreciate everything you've done for Griff. You know that, right? I just hope things work out for him this time around. I guess we'll find out when he meets up with us at the Zerka Corp shop. If he's got those credits he promised you, then maybe there's hope for him yet.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Revan Malak. It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manaan is covered by nothing but vast oceans. The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the Galactic Senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The Senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
Yeah, what are you... Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude. No, really, I should apologize. I should try to control myself, as you Jedi do. Is there anything I can help you with? Well, of course, I'm always willing to help a Jedi. What do you require? Well, for the Kolto, of course. Really, that's the only reason anyone would want to be here. It's the only reason the Selkath built Ahto City in the first place. To explore Kolto. You're joking, right? I'm sorry, but everyone knows what Kolto is. It's the most powerful healing agent in the galaxy. I would have died several times myself if we didn't have this stuff handy. But the reason it's important here is that Kolto is only found naturally on Manaan, and all of our attempts to synthesize it have failed miserably. So, we sit here on the surface, the Selkath harvesting what Kolto bubbles up from the bottom of the ocean, and we buy it from them. Well, us and the Sith, of course. The Selkath don't want to play favorites. The Selkath think that by staying neutral, they can play both sides, selling Kolto to everyone that needs it, and making themselves too valuable to be worth conquering. Well, that, and they threaten to destroy the only natural source of Kolto on the planet if anyone tries to attack them. But I think they're underestimating the length the Sith will go to get what they want. They're probably planning something already. Is there anything else you require? A star map? Like an ancient artifact or something? No, I'm sorry, I've never heard of it. Is there anything else I can do for you? Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
Got something on your mind, dude? You got yourself a fast little ship? I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an Uller in mating season. Oh, frightful. Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of a synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing? I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha. No, but it could be. An Anduvian salt tablet would clear that right up, you know. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. Andor Vex was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was. I did. Just because someone has the Force swirling about them doesn't always mean they have a great destiny. But it doesn't hurt to check it out. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall. I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring. Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand. Of course he did. Haven't you been listening? It was not in the way you'd probably expect, though. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too, or those could have just been gurgling noises. Oh, well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing. Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you? Well, hey, the chances may not be great, but when one has the opportunity to see something like that twice in a lifetime... Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
Hey, stranger. Mysterious stranger. Wow, look at you. A Jedi. No wonder I could never beat you. It's me, Duncan. Deadeye Duncan, from the dueling arena on Terrace, remember? Oh, there was a handful of us who made it out. The lucky ones. I survived by breaking into the military base, overpowering a dozen Sith soldiers, and stealing one of their own ships. Well, when the bombing started, the Sith sent down a bunch of autopiloted ships to evacuate soldiers from the planet. I saw one and I figured it was a rescue ship, so I ran up to it. A Sith patrol was approaching from the other side, getting ready to board. When they saw me, they all pulled their blasters. But it takes more than a dozen armed Sith soldiers to slow me down. Well, to tell the truth, they didn't actually take the Sith out. The building fell on them. A chunk of building, actually, from the bombing. Crushed the whole bunch of them. Very messy. So there I was, all alone and standing by this empty evacuation ship. I climbed on board, overrode the autopilot controls, and lifted off into orbit. The ship had all the Sith launch codes programmed in, so I didn't have to worry about being blasted from the sky. I just played it cool and tried to fly casual. In the confusion of the bombing, nobody paid any attention to my one little ship slipping away from the fleet. Once I was out of scanner range, I knew I was home free. I've decided to become a mercenary. Came here looking for work. I heard the Republic was hiring. But they weren't interested in me. Guess I made a mistake by telling them who I was. They'd heard of me. Seems like everybody's heard of me. The legend of Deadeye Duncan. The worst duelist of all time. Spread far and wide across the galaxy. Makes it hard to earn a living, you know? I have no idea. All I know is that if I don't find some way to shake my reputation soon, I'm gonna have to find another line of work. It's too bad. Hey, wait a minute. You're a Jedi now, so you probably won't be doing much dueling anymore, right? So the name Mysterious Stranger probably won't be much use to you anymore, right? So, can I have it? I mean, if everyone's heard of Deadeye Duncan, then they probably heard of the Mysterious Stranger, but nobody knows anything about you except the name. You could be anybody. Man, woman, me. If I say I'm the Mysterious Stranger, who's gonna know? There'll be celebrity tours, maybe some endorsements. I could milk this thing for months. Well, right up until people see me fight. What do you say? Fame? Celebrity? You don't need that. You're a Jedi. But I'm just a guy trying to earn a living. Come on, give me a break. Really? You mean it? Oh, this is great. No more jokes, no more snickering. When I tell people I'm the Mysterious Stranger, they'll finally treat me with respect. Thanks a lot, stranger. Oops, guess I shouldn't call you that now. People will think I'm talking to myself. Anyway, I should be going. I'm heading off planet to look for work. Shouldn't be too hard now that I'm the Terrace Duel Champion. It's good seeing you again, and thanks.
Got something on your mind, dude? No, I never did I? Of course you do. I know things, remember? You think you could make it around this part of the galaxy without me? But don't answer that. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. You live in an overgrown stump with a tax beating down your door, and you tell me how happy you would be. I was pleased just to have visitors. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters and the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? There. Now, was that so hard? An old man has to be allowed some petty eccentricities. Nice to see you agree for once. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can't be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day. Nonsense. If I ever refused to help you when you asked, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
Enough time to listen to your stories. Got a full shipment of Kolto ready to load before my shift is up. We've got all the proper Kolto trading permits, so back off.
Manaan may not seem very hospitable, but a surprising amount of trade runs through it.
Jodie, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jolie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Elora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Yes?
Got something on your mind? What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. A man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. To become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I know. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. Oh, so I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. Well, I don't expect much these days.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers. They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight. If it weren't for the Republic, Manaan would already be under Sith control. But we haven't heard one word of thanks from the Selkath.
One day soon, the Selkath will pay for the indignities they have inflicted on the Sith.
I suppose your Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him. Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious. So nice to meet an impartial judge for a change. You said it, not I. Yes? Speaking of that injury, has it been taken into consideration, Your Honor? Simply because it was real does not mean Sunry would have overlooked it being in Elas's hand.
What?
Can't stop now. Busy, busy, busy.
You're new around here, aren't you? My name's Duan. Care to buy a Sith girl a drink? That is, unless you're one of those simpering Republic soldiers. What is there to investigate? Obviously, Sanri is guilty, but the Republic is doing everything they can to keep him out of a Selkath prison. But I don't really want to talk about that right now. I'm just here to have a couple of drinks and try to unwind, you know? Sure, pull up a seat. I'll have the bartender ring us up a couple of mugs of the local favorite. It's called Phyrexian Tooth. Watch out for these. They pack quite a bite. 2 or 3 of these babies and you won't even remember who you are. Woo, that's good stuff. Might even be better than Kessel Spice, you think? Never touched the hard stuff myself. Sure, why not? You know, hardly anyone buys me drinks around this place. It's enough to make a woman doubt herself, you know? Well, I might be a little giddy, but I hope you don't think I'm going to start spilling Sith's secrets all of a sudden. It'll take more than a couple of drinks to get me there. But not much more. Well, I suppose one more wouldn't hurt, as long as you're buying. Well, I fear I am good and truly drunk. Don't you be taking advantage of me now, you hear? Shay, you're handsome. You aren't married, are you? Are you married? Oh, dear. Seems like all the good ones are always married. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. That's not very ladylike, is it? Oh. I don't want to talk about that stuff. Shay, you never said if you were married. Are you married? Are you? Yes, yes, one more drink, exactly. Exactly what I was thinking. Ugh, head hurts. Eyes bleary. Must get back to embassy. Find bed. Let me sleep. I gotta sleep.
When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and bathe in your blood!
Jolie, what are you doing here? Allura sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the Cellcath seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alasa there that night, but it's not what you think.
I was working with Republic Intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith when I turned Alasa into a double agent working for us.
It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you. Further, they say they found my heroes cross at a crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcath, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure. Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. Selkath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with Offworlders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Very well. I suppose there is still much you must do before the trial. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. No. No way I'm lying to the court just because you want to get your Republic buddy off or whatever. I have no interest in going to prison. What do you want to know? Alasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on. There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firith Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know? Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
You with the Selkath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me? Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alasa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics, usually. I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself. Oh, well, Alasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything, and there's no way you can make me say otherwise. Now quit asking. 100 credits isn't enough for the kind of trouble I'd be having if I told you. Sorry, you're going to have to look somewhere else. Thanks. I was in my room, minding my own business with the latest copy of Pazak Weekly, checking out the listings for the big tournament that's going to be held here soon, when I heard a blaster shot. Being still alive, and therefore smart enough not to stick my head out immediately, I didn't go out right away. I looked out after a minute and saw Glupor in the hall by Elas's room and Sunry running like the wind. You can't tell me that someone who was running like that, and he was pretty fast for a cripple, isn't guilty. Yes, well, I'll be right here. Not like they're letting me go anywhere else.
Chiki kun selkap, Jona mulira tong Glupor. Glupor tong hit wanaji selkat agi inko tune. Glupor mulira, Chuna mulira, tong Glupor kipa. Glupor yon tung chiwi ita. Bola un jikne mulira Glupor. Kon muli slimo pui wanga kun viskin. Glupor kinpa nikcha lora kun. Glupor chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Glupor nibo jimata wipun nage. Tong abag sun sham u glupor tong hit wama ji selkat ad inko tune. Glupor picha ge borang turang. Glupor wangki yuma batmal yaw no wish. Glupor no una pangpa mulira kongking. Kun mulira slimo poi wanga kun makachisa Glupor. Tong abag sinshan Glupor ni nong kili. Glupor chiwaka aita kang kicha na selkat. Glupor nibo mulira Glupo ni msit. Glupor siya. Glupor pampa ki mulira kun king. Glupor chachopa si chawa wish kun kun. Glupor bagra shak konti cha umyoman. Tong itselkat wama jikon na. Glupor ag inko tune. Glupor no molira, chuna mulira, tongpa no kun, no nek. Glupor chachopa. Glupor bagwa shank konti machid Glupor nada chawa yishun kun. Tong itwama ji, human act inka tune. Glupor wanga kun beast, tung abashun ni chu.
You again. Didn't I tell you people everything I knew? So why do you keep coming back to me? Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics usually. I'm not saying anything like that. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Well, Elassa was a Sith. 100 credits isn't enough for the kind of trouble I'd be having if I told you. Sorry, you're going to have to look somewhere else. Thanks. You kept... I didn't see anything, and there's no way you can make me say otherwise. Since you put it that way. Well, one time, I saw Elassa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Elassa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest. Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me. Yes?
What are you doing in my room? I'm too tired to enter a discussion with you tonight, and you can speak to me tomorrow at the Mercenary Enclave if you wish. Good. Leave me to my privacy.
Jedi, I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface. This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. The Sunry and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes? I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
Welcome to Manaan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid. I don't know much about the facts of the case, but I find it hard to believe. I never met Sunry, but he's a hero of the Republic, not a murderer. The so-called evidence against him is an obvious frame-up. It has to be. The Sith must have plotted Sunry's downfall to embarrass and discredit the Republic. If you want to solve this mess, I would focus on the Sith. That or check out the murder scene at the hotel. Talk to the other guests. Maybe they know something. I regret I could not be of more assistance in your investigation. Is there anything else? Then I shall wish you good day. On behalf of the Republic, I hope you enjoy your time here on Manaan.
I'm sorry, I'm on duty, citizen. Please refer any questions to our diplomatic... I'm sorry, I'm on duty, citizen. Please refer any questions to our diplomatic corps. Thank you.
I know you. You're the arbiter in the murder trial. Elassa was a friend of mine. If there's any justice in the galaxy, they'll feed Sunry to the Phyrexians. Shouldn't you be preparing for the trial? What are you doing here? You can ask, but I doubt you'll get many answers you'll like. I know he'd already be tried, convicted, and executed if the Selkath knew anything about justice. But the fish people are as weak as the Republic when it comes to such matters. Is there anything else? Go. Stay. Doesn't matter to me. If you want to, you can even wander up to the embassy gates. But don't expect to get inside. I know you. Shouldn't you be preparing for the trial? Ha! We know who we have business with. If you don't know how to get in, then we don't want anything to do with you. Now back off. Go. Stay. Doesn't matter to me. If you want to, you can even wander up to the embassy gates. But don't expect to get inside.
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit. What? Don't insult us both. Sunry is a just and honorable man. How dare you accuse him of such a thing?
Now, Elora. We're not here to pass judgment, my dear. We do need to know everything if we're here to help, yes?
Yes. Yes, he was having an affair. He was seeing that Sith woman. After all these years we've been together, he just struck me like that. Not publicly, oh no. But inside, that's what it feels like. I started seeing Alasa last year. I had my suspicions for a while, but he was careless. Pretty soon everyone knew. But even though I'm sure that harlot was only using him, I know he couldn't have killed her. He came and confessed to the affair to me. He said he was going there to break it off, to end it. Maybe the Sith woman attacked him, and he had to defend himself. But even though he cheated on me, inside he's still the man I loved. Yeah. He's too kind and gentle to have killed her in cold blood. This is all a plot to discredit the Republic. Sunry is a victim of a Sith frame-up.
It's possible. I haven't seen Sunry since I crashed on Kashyyyk. A man can change a lot in that time. The man I knew could never have done this crime, however.
Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Jolie, coming to check in on an old man? I must confess, I would rather you were here to speak to the Warden and begin my trial.
Soon, old friend. We don't want to go to trial until we've got the whole picture.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these four bare walls. But I suppose you know what you're doing. You know, the role of Arbiter cannot be taken lightly. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. No, what this must look like, yes. Yes, we were having an affair. I know it was wrong, but I'm a weak man. Alasa was beautiful and young. How was I to resist her charms? But I didn't kill her. I loved her. Please. I know I made a terrible mistake getting involved with Alasa, but I was going there to break it off with her. I did it, but found out later that she was dead. I don't deserve to go to jail just for having an affair, do I? You have to help me prove that I wasn't the killer. Well, you know I was having an affair with Alasa. I went there to break it off that night. Well, I can tell you it wasn't easy. She was young and beautiful. But I love Alora. I knew I had to do it. I broke it off quickly as I could, and then I left. I found out later she'd been murdered when the Selkath authorities came knocking on my door. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. Further, they say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Selkath, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my Arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Very well. I suppose there is still much you must do before the trial. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the Warden we're ready.
It is an honor to see justice served, and I will see Sunry is executed for the crime he has committed.
The man I saw leaving, Sunry, probably left after I heard the blaster shot.
The guilt of the accused is apparent even this early in the trial. You are Firith Me, the well-known Pazak player. I wonder if we can trust the word of a gambler as reliable testimony. Of course, Your Honor. Firith Me, what did you see the night of the murder?
Well, I came out into the hallway after hearing the blaster shot and saw Sunry over there limping down the hall out of the building.
A very obvious point, Your Honors. The accused was seen leaving the scene of the crime after the blaster that killed Elassa was fired.
Yes? Yes, from what I could tell. She carried a lightsaber under that cloak of hers.
Objection! That doesn't prove she was a Jedi.
You mean actually see him kill her with my own eyes? Well, no, but I don't think there could have been anyone else there. Well, he was moving pretty fast running away, but yeah, I mean, how could he kill a Sith warrior in combat? I don't know for sure. I think it may have been. I mean, you'd have to be pretty stupid to leave something that important lying around, wouldn't you?
Glupor the Rodian, you were staying in the hotel the night of the murder and saw Sunry leaving Alasa's room, didn't you?
Glupor jiking mata Sunry mulira. Kingun jupa shak glupor. No ba mulira sit jilai kunka.
This is clear, then, that Sunry left the room with the Sith Elasa already dead behind him.
Glupor tong himo maji glupor aki unkotun sit. Glupor no mulira chuni mulira tong Sunry. Kingba no konik dorcha. Chubaka chupa glupor. Chawa whiskey sit. Glupor ka chopa chawa wisyun kun. Ogra shok chong kanti chakum hudro. Glupor kan king David nibora tong chitsa. Tong Sunry Kingbo no kun nik dorcha. Glupor wana kunlist. Kingu mwa mulira dwana. Tong abag son nik nung chi. Glupor.
Don't do it, Glupor.
Glupor kang kindavik nibora tong chitsa.
Lies! Slander! I object!
Glupor wonky.
You, Elora, are Sunry's lawful wife. Your husband was a hero in the last war between the Sith Empire and the Republic. He was crippled in that war. Do you not believe he'd blame the Sith for his injury?
Yes. I guess he would.
And there you have motive. Sunry seeks revenge on the Sith for what they did to him and killed Elasa.
Yes. Yes, it was true. He was having an affair with that Sith harlot.
It seems painfully obvious that he killed her to keep her quiet about the affair.
He'd been seeing her for some time, I think. But he said he was going to change. He'd gone there that night to end it. We talked the night before and he'd promised. But now things have become so very complicated. Yes. He fought against the Sith in the last war. He fought bravely, and was even awarded the Hero's Cross. I don't know how much that means to the Sith, or to your Selkath, your honors. But in the Republic, it is awarded only to the bravest, most valorous, most honorable men. The kind of man who earns that medal would not kill someone in cold blood. He was a good man, but his injuries pained him terribly. But he always held on, always persevered. I don't think he could have beaten her or anything like that. But a blaster? I just don't know.
I wish to call forth Sunry himself, your honors. Are you a war hero, Mr. Sunry? You fought in wars against the Sith Empire, correct?
Yes, that's right. And I don't regret it either. The Republic needs its heroes.
Indeed. Would you say that you dislike the Sith? Even hate them?
Of course I hate them.
Trying to take over the galaxy every chance they get, killing millions of innocents?
Pure politics. Were you in Elassa's room on the night of the murder?
Well, yes, I was. I had been having an affair with Elassa and my wife, yes. But I realized how wrong I'd been, and I was going there to end it.
You were having an affair with a Sith. You wanted to end it quickly and quietly, so you killed her from behind and tried to flee.
No,
I think we can see the answer clear enough, Mr. Sunry.
Of course she was. Why would a young, beautiful Sith woman get with an old cripple like me? I don't know. The medal had gone missing some time ago. I never found out what happened to it. It's possible the Sith had stolen it and had it planted on the body.
Supposition, Your Honors?
Yes, I think they would. They wouldn't want to lose one of their sources, even though I didn't give them anything. They might have killed her for her failure. Or they might have thought she'd turn against them or something like that.
The Sith Empire is not the barbaric institution you portray it to be. I think the facts in this case are very straightforward. Sunry was having an affair with Elassa. He sought to end it, and the simplest, quickest method, given his hatred of the Sith, was to simply kill her. Witnesses saw Sunry fleeing the scene, and material evidence places him there at the time of the murder as well. I am confident that any informed observation of the facts will lead the judges, Your Honors, to this very conclusion. Oh, that doesn't mean a thing. He was there, running from the room. The Sith would not leave the medal of her killer clutched in her hand. Your Honors, no!
I guess you got the result you wanted, but I still think it was a big waste of time. We Mandalorians prefer to settle things with a nice, quick trial by combat.
Oh, Sunry, I'm so glad.
Elora, thank you for saving me. I don't know how I can repay you. Elora and I are going to leave here and get as far away from all this as soon as we can. I and the Republic will not forget what you've done for us. Thank you.
Got something on your mind, dude? Innocent. I don't know what to make of it, to tell the truth. Do you think justice has been done? I see. I am not so sure. If he did kill that woman, Sunry's going to have to live with that on his conscience. And if he's justified her death in his mind, well, Sunry was a good man once. I only hope that is still the case. I enjoyed his company. I don't want to talk about this anymore. My jaw aches.